If you've ever wondered how protests happen on the spot, this is exactly how. Without organizers, without the music, without the bullhorns, without all of these people coming together. And right now what they're doing is they're loading their trucks to leave out of here after they finish with the protest. None of the protests that you see that happen immediately after something happens, which is all the time now, wouldn't be possible. None of the protests that you see are organic. They're well organized, and because they're well organized, that means they're well funded through various campaigns, whether it's foreign influence campaigns or it could be even Democrat campaigns. So this is how it all happens. Bird right here, okay? I'm exposing one paid protester for every 100 followers that I get. This is Nate Knopf. He gets paid between $80,000 to $110,000 to do this exact thing. He identifies as a they, them, but unfortunately we only saw one Nate. He was actually my handler at the Labor Day protest. And eventually that led us to a situation with the cops, but we'll get to that in a second. Nate is a prominent member with the Democrat Socialists of America Atlanta chapter. Here he is meeting with the Cuban ambassador, enjoying a beer while laughing with the ambassador. He's an Atlanta delegate to the National DSA Convention where they endorsed Zohran Mamdani, once a proud DSA member. In fact, most of Mamdani's team is made up of DSA members like Nate. Nate is the chapter's recording secretary and electoral committee co-chair. He helped elect Gabriel Sanchez as the first socialist in Georgia, and now he's organizing voter outreach to elect Kelsey Bond as the first socialist on Atlanta City's council, paving the way to replicate Mamdani's mayoral run in Atlanta. So what was Nate's job at the protests in Atlanta that I attended? To be with me the entire time in order to make sure no protester engaged with me because I'm a right-winger. Here he is constantly trying to prevent my cameraman from filming. I have a handler at a protest. That's kind of ridiculous. She doesn't want to talk to you. Oh, it's okay. Are you going to now speak on her behalf? I'm still allowed to engage if I want to, right? You know that, right? Nate wouldn't tell us how much he gets paid, but we know he does. As a top operative for the DSA, he is unionized under CWA Washington Baltimore News Guild, where they pay organizers like Nate between $80,000 to $110,000 a year. In fact, here's a job listing for a professional protester where they'll pay you between $80,000 to $103,000 to organize and represent. This position also comes with various benefits like health and paid days off. You may remember Nate from our previous video where we revealed how protesters who organize for the Democratic Socialists of America are paid through their partnership with Communication Workers of America. Let's investigate this partnership further. CWA funnels members' dues to activist organizations like the DSA, who utilizes those funds to operate and organize. CWA and DSA's relationship dates back to 2017 when DSA's national staff unionized under CWA's Washington Baltimore News Guild, making DSA staff the first in the nonprofit socialist organizing space to unionize. They signed a brand new agreement in 2024, extending their partnership to 2027. Notice how they partner up when President Trump is in office. The 2024-2027 collective bargaining agreement between DSA's unionized staff and the National Political Committee, which acts as the political body of the DSA, includes salary ranges of $80,000 to $103,000 for organizers. According to DSA's 2023 IRS Form 990, they allocated significant portions of the budget to national staff salaries and chapter grants. Want to get $80K to organize and represent? Here's a job application on CWA's website for that. As a lead representative, your job is to organize and represent. Want to be spokesperson for a local chapter, like Tim here, who we'll expose next? Just apply here for an annual salary of $100K. You can be like Tim and tell me you're too tired for an interview. That interview with us now? A couple questions for us?
I'm busy right now, man. I'm volunteering today. I don't have time. I'm not here for content for you. No? But good luck.
Maybe next.
Let's be really clear about what we're dealing with here. We are dealing with a vicious enemy. A vicious enemy that wants to control us and is willing to murder us in order to have that kind of control. So this is not something that's going to be a policy change, right? It's not a matter of getting some new politician in there with a different take on this. This is a vicious life or death enemy. We are not there to observe them. We are not there to denounce them. We are there to defeat them. What's happened so far is that our communities have been resilient and strong. Let's understand that the Native people in this city have stood up strong against ICE, have been so generous with their understanding and analysis and given us the context that this whole thing is taking place in, and have put their bodies on the lines, and many of them have suffered at the hands of these motherfuckers who dare to call them illegal aliens, right? So when we think these motherfuckers are so powerful and we go to our work every day and we have to take shit from our boss and our managers about what we're not doing right or not doing fast enough or not doing enough, it can feel like we are weak and powerless. You just want to fucking close out, you want to go home, you want to get away from it. But please remember, they are not the really powerful people. If they don't show up to work, nobody fucking notices. But when we don't show up to work, nothing fucking runs. But let's not have any illusions. None of us are safe. Okay? And in fact, now is not the time to be thinking about how can I be safe. Now is the time to be thinking about what can I do to have an impact on this situation.
That's right.
The public agreement between you guys that you can literally pull up on your phone right now doesn't exist. Is that what you're saying?
Doesn't exist.
It does exist. So why don't you just explain to me how the contract actually works?
Doesn't exist.
I mean, it's public information. You guys just re-signed a deal that increased your wages, gave you guys even more days off, gave you parental time off and stuff like that. It's literally like I can go right now.
Time off?
I can right now go apply for a job to be. I forget what you guys exactly call it. Like a field
volunteer organization.
Yeah, yeah. You guys. Well, you guys aren't strictly a volunteer service.
We're all volunteers, man.
So why do you guys have a public agreement, a collective bargaining agreement with Communication Workers of America?
Why
is that?
volunteers, bro.
Why is that
Nobody's
the case?
getting paid.
But tell me that. Why do you guys have a collective bargaining agreement? The PSL doesn't have that. Why doesn't Party for Socialism and Liberation doesn't have that? You guys are the only activist group on the left
You
that
guys,
has
what is you guys?
PSA. I mean, tell me a little bit more. You guys are definitely unionized. That's how people like yourself who are organizers possibly get paid. I'm not saying that you do get paid, but it's public available information. And maybe you can just clarify it a little bit more for me about what is this public, collective bargaining agreement between DSA and Communication Workers of America. What is that?
It's a volunteer organization, bro.
Okay. And how much money do you get from Communication Workers of America to DSA?
It's a volunteer organization.
So you're saying that you guys just have a collective bargaining agreement for no reason? Why don't you just volunteer your services?
It is a volunteer organization. It's not
you can say that, but you guys have a collective bargaining agreement with a union.
Who's this woman in the red shirt coordinating with local Atlanta police at an anti-ICE protest that escalated into a riot with tear gas and riot police deployed? For every new 100 followers, I'll expose a new group. She's a professional paid protester. Let me show you how. Here she is at the International Workers' Day protest. Here she is again at a pro-Iran rally, at an anti-Trump demonstration, and leading a protest outside Atlanta's ICE field office. And she's never alone. Always accompanied by the same woman who I've nicknamed Crazy Babushka. Here they are together at multiple Atlanta protests. So here's footage of me asking them what group are they affiliated with.
What does your shirt say?
It says Party for Socialism and Liberation. I'm an organizer with the PSL.
Okay. Liberation for what?
Liberation for all oppressed nations and all nations fighting against U.S. imperialism.
Their highly organized and coordinated efforts prompted me to investigate their funding, and what I uncovered is a scary foreign influence campaign. The Party for Socialism and Liberation distributes funds to its chapters across the country, including those in Atlanta and Los Angeles. These funds are used to pay protesters like the woman in the red shirt to organize and attend demonstrations. This is the same group that is behind the recent LA riots. Notice the red shirts in LA matching those I filmed in Atlanta? Their funding comes from a $20 million donation by a nonprofit run by Nival Roy Singham, whose wife serves as a board member of that nonprofit. It's simple. $20 million is funneled to the United Community Fund, which then funnels money to PSL. The leader of the PSL, Claudia de la Cruz, also holds a leadership role in the People's Forum, a New York City hub where organizations like the PSL meet and strategize. Between 2017 and 2022, Singham donated $20 million to the People's Forum. Singham, a self-described socialist, lives in China where he regularly meets with Chinese Communist Party officials and attends their events. And that is how these protesters can afford to protest every single day.
Hey, I'm just documenting you guys putting all your protest stuff in a van. It's very nice of you. How far did you travel to come to protest today?
That's not really your concern.
Then why do you have like a van full of stuff?
Well, you
wearing masks?
There's a road here.
Yeah, no.
Roads are great for transporting things and traveling. So.
Just, I can videotape on a sidewalk, so.
No, I'm gonna stop you from videotaping it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna interrupt you guys.
I'm just trying to understand.
Just interesting. You guys are putting everything in a van, and you're getting really mad about it. That looks really suspicious.
I'm just trying to make sure that you have, all the answers that you.
Are you guys paid?
No.
How much did Soros or Reid Hoffman pay you to come protest around today? Come on. Was it good? Did you get paid well? Did you guys get paid today? Are you sure? You're positive? Oh, you don't want me to get the license plate? Why? Why? Because I don't know. If you guys are like a legitimate grassroots, you shouldn't be worried about it. But someone's funding you, clearly.
Why should get paid to the street?